Okay. Think we're good.
Yeah. Hey, I got a pretty awesome Batman figure that I think would look really great right in the center here. This Batman figure that is mine and has always been mine. And I just need to get him right there. He's looking pretty good. This Batman figure that has been mine now and forever.
Fuck you.
All right. Welcome, one and all, to the Out of Touch podcast. We're doing this again for the Long Halloween Part 2 DC animated movie. I'm Chris. That's Bill. And Bill, what did you think of Batman The Long Halloween Part 2?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I have no prior knowledge of the Long Halloween comic, but this, from what you told me, is very different than the comic now for Part 2.
It definitely goes in its own direction, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it kept me guessing. It kept me in like, oh, where are they going with this now?
Yeah, it was interesting. Since we already did Part 1, I mean,
Link in the description?
Yeah, like, all my comments for the animation is Batman looks great. Something about, like, the Batman not being as busy as sometimes he is. It's just like, man, Batman looks so cool when it's just black cape, gray suit, black bat, shadow, the white Batman eyes. It's just like, it's like, man, I can't remember the last time Batman looked this good in animation, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I can't really.
Yeah.
Because designs in some of the other animated movies kind of vary wildly, and sometimes they go for the blue and gray when I think that maybe they should have went for the black, and then sometimes they went just for that New 52 look.
Yeah, which sometimes I feel the New 52 look was a little over-designed, and maybe it's just because it's like he's got too many lines in his suit, and
he suffered the least compared to some of the other characters.
Yeah, New 52 Superman.
I hate New 52 Superman, kind of.
Yeah, well, that's why they literally brought back regular Superman.
And had New 52 Superman die in front of him.
I mean, off on a tangent already, but when old Superman showed up in the New 52, it was so awesome. You saw him at a distance. They're fighting, Darkseid? And he's just like, I could end this instantly, but let me see how they do.
It is just kind of telling that they fucked up the New 52 Superman so bad that they just literally had to bring back regular classic Superman. Be like, no. Here's the real Superman. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're fucking sorry. Though I think their histories did eventually kind of merge.
Soul merged?
I don't fucking know. Comics are dumb sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
But back to the Long Halloween.
Let's talk about comics now.
Well, we're talking about an animated movie based on a comic. Actually, based on a great comic. And they made two pretty great animated movies out of it.
Yeah. I can't wait till they have it as just one big movie like they do with the two-part movies.
Yeah, and sometimes they add a little bit too. So hopefully maybe in the compilation movie they'll add the one thing that I was disappointed got left out.
And what was that, Bill?
Riddler's April Fool's Day scene.
Yeah, they just skipped that, huh?
Yeah, they skipped April Fool's Day. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
But thankfully the rest of the movie really does make up for it. We start right where we left off, where Bruce Wayne's enthralled by Poison Ivy.
Yeah, and she's literally dominated his life for like a month?
3 months.
Wow.
Because remember, it started right after New Year's.
Right. And then we see 2 holiday killings.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's longer than it was in the comic. I think it was maybe into February, but they take it right till like March, April almost.
You're thinking like, wait, Poison Ivy has Bruce Wayne under her control. Where's Alfred? Oh, Alfred's under her control too.
Yeah, I'd have to double check, but I think we just don't see Alfred during that period in the comic.
Oh, wow.
So they kind of gloss over that.
Alfred's like, I'm back from my holiday in Bermuda.
It could just be he just disappeared and just wasn't at home a lot of the time. I don't know. I don't remember.
He's like, I got this giant bag of Roundup.
Or maybe it was just like a single line of dialogue. They're like, yeah, I was brainwashed and locked in a closet.
I went to England to do English stuff, like eat eel pie and drink tea.
And bow to the queen or something.
That's what English people do, probably.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fish and chips and all that.
Yeah. You know, fun fact about England. You know, they say that there was like a law that was passed that was like, hey, you can't serve fish and chips in newspaper anymore. And then people were like, it doesn't taste as good if it's not in the newspaper. And then they changed the law so they could serve it wrapped up in newspaper.
Why was that a law?
I don't know, because like I guess it was unhealthy, because like they were like, hey, you can't like wrap up food in like newspaper because of like news ink and stuff. Or something weird, and then people were like, it doesn't taste as good not being wrapped up.
We demand
newspaper.
we demand to be slowly poisoned by ink.
Yeah,
Governor.
It's really weird, but England.
Everywhere is weird.
Yeah.
Here we are from where we are from.
Yeah. Some country in North America.
Yeah. Paraguay.
I said North America. That's in South America.
Whatever.
Right, same thing. You know, the rest of the world just thinks they're one continent anyway. Technically they are if we didn't build that stupid canal. I mean, those storms at the bottom of South America weren't that bad. I mean, come on, guys.
What the fuck are we talking
And
about?
with global warming, that Arctic passage is gonna be no sweat now.
So, we'll do a quick overall, then we'll talk about the whole, how everything plays out.
Okay.
So, on the whole, what do you think? How do you
I liked it. You know, I don't know if it like blew my mind or anything, but I enjoyed it. It was a fun Batman movie. The mystery was a little bit, I guess, obvious after a while, where you're like, okay,
it's the crazy person.
Yeah, it's like, what's up with this character? Oh, and I guess how it unfolded was a little bit different because, you know, you eventually find out motivations and stuff, and you're like, okay. And I guess since he's on the cover, TwoFace stuff was pretty good. He's very crazy, and I just like when he's TwoFace, he just starts talking in like a crazy person voice, just because.
Because we hear it in his head at first, because like, after he gets the acid thrown in his face, he'd be like, oh, well, his vocal cords are messed up. That's why he's talking like this.
Yeah.
But nah, it's just because he's crazy.
Yeah, he was talking like that before the acid. Wanted, you know, Batwoman, Catwoman. I keep doing that. What's wrong with me?
I don't know.
My brain. And Batman, Catwoman.
I mean, look, it's a bad show and a bad movie. I can understand your confusion.
Yeah. But Batman, Catwoman, pretty cool. It's fun seeing them together. You know, I do feel like Catwoman's costume was kind of like, it's like, so like, just like a cat suit. I was like, doesn't look like it protects much.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
But, you know, she's fun. And yeah, all the villains too. Mad Hatter, very interesting. Like, crazy lunatic.
Yeah, the Mad Hatter in the Long Halloween comic just speaks in weird nursery rhymes the entire time. Alice in Wonderland quotes or whatever, but they put a spin on it this time where he's doing a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool. You know, just kind of like this lunatic too.
Oh yeah. You see him paired up with Scarecrow. There was actually a great little moment between him and Scarecrow where he's just doing his babbling and all that, and Scarecrow's just like, all right.
Yeah.
Just like that moment where Scarecrow's like, shit, I know I'm crazy, but dude.
Yeah, Scarecrow, pretty cool too. Batman gets fear toxined once in this movie, and then he see as like a hallucination of, let's say, what is it, Nintendo Virtual Boy, kind of all red and black for a while, but like it was like super metal and hardcore.
I have to watch it again, but I think they kind of made it look a little like the comic book art style.
Oh, that would be cool.
I'd have to look at that again, especially with the way Batman was drawn in that, because I think his cowl got a little distorted, which is kind of how it looks in the comic.
Yeah, he had his like mouth kind of sewn shut like the Scarecrow too while he was hallucinating. And also Scarecrow just rides horse and carriage places, and I'm like, that's like insane and weird, but I kind of love it because he's the Scarecrow.
Yeah, I mean,
all he needs is a scythe, just because.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure I've seen that image.
Yeah.
Plenty of times he's run around with a scythe. I've seen him ride horses before. He rode a horse in Batman Begins for a second.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he got tasered in the face.
Yeah. Batman Begins. What a great movie.
Absolutely. So the outcome is very different to a degree from the comic.
Yeah.
I mean, it all starts with changes that they introduced in part 1 with the death of Alberto Falcone, who in the comic does not die.
Oh.
His death is a fake out because he pops up claiming to be the holiday killer, even commits one of the killings himself.
Oh, interesting.
And then as the story progresses, it's like, well, Two-Face kills Carmine Falcone like he does here. And he's like, there was 2 holiday killers. Him basically saying, yeah, I was one of them too. But then the ending, which we do get here, but it plays out a little differently, where we find out the real holiday killer, or at least the main holiday killer, was Gilda Dent.
It's interesting. Yeah, before we get the Gilda reveal too, I guess we should mention, in the comics, I guess, the way Two-Face becomes Two-Face is the same.
More or less, yeah. He's in the courtroom with Maroni. Maroni double-crosses him.
And then throws the acid on his face. And
yep.
Maroni's just like, I don't care. I'm going to jail. I'm
Fuck
doing
you.
crime in front of everybody.
Fuck you. You killed my dad, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. Hardcore. Yeah, but Gilda, the whole time throughout both movies, you're like kind of like, what's up with this girl? And even at some points, just like, you're like, is she in love with like his crazy side, or what's going on with her?
Turns out, yes.
Yeah.
They really emphasize her more than they did in the comic, because I think if you read the comic, the Gilda reveal would be more of a shock. This, I kind of feel like they played the hand a little bit, but they kind of also know that a good chunk of the audience that would be watching this movie has probably read the comic back to front. So
Yeah.
it's not that bad that they did that.
Now, you said in the comic she got hurt at one point?
Yes, when the Dent house gets bombed, she's the one that gets injured and put in the hospital.
Okay.
Harvey comes out fine.
Right.
And that is presumably where, in the comic, she stopped killing. And possibly Harvey, or maybe even Alberto, or maybe both of them, kept the killings going.
Yeah. And with Harvey becoming Two-Face, is it he's crazy before he becomes Two-Face like he is, or like he's starting to go crazy?
Like not as much as he is in this movie.
Okay.
They really put an emphasis, especially in part 2, on his kind of cracking mental faculties.
Yeah, because a lot of times with Two-Face, and maybe it's not in every Batman thing, but they always set up Harvey was kind of crazy to begin with, but Gordon and Batman don't really know that. So, like, they kind of think, like, oh, it was a tragedy, he was a great man, and then he got the acid and then went crazy. But I guess, does Batman ever, like, find out, like, oh, no, he was, like, kind of crazy before that, or...
Some versions.
Yeah, okay.
It really depends on how much they want to emphasize how much of a temper Harvey had prior to that, or...
Right.
Like Batman the Animated Series, they reveal, oh yeah, he's already got a split personality, he's got issues, and then explosion, ah!
Yeah. My other side is out.
And he's in complete control now.
Yeah. Yeah, Two-Face is an interesting character. I mean, he's probably the second most used Batman villain.
These days, yeah. I mean, he's made it to 2 movies.
Yeah.
He's been in most of the cartoons since we were a kid. There was a long time when they were like,
don't use him.
Don't
It's too
use him.
scary and
Yeah,
gross.
I mean, they came close to using him in the 60s TV show. From what I understand, a lot of people thought like, oh, they didn't want to do it because he was too gruesome. I think it was just simply a matter of, because they wrote a script, and I think they just couldn't get the actor that they wanted for it, and they just never made it.
Yeah.
And then, the show got canned, and that was that.
But then they made like the animated movie that was based off that? Or
I think
not
that was more of
really?
its own thing, but the original script was adapted into a comic.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, you could see versions of that, what could have been. We had Billy D. Williams show up as Harvey Dent in Batman '89, which was supposed to lead to more.
Yeah, and then we just got, Tommy Lee Jones, just like, I'm Two-Face now. Like,
Crazy.
I don't even think we get to see him, like, become Two-Face. He just is Two-Face.
We get a brief news footage of it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
see brief glimpse of regular Harvey Dent being like, I'm lawyer man. And we see Maroni hurling the acid and him being like, ah!
Okay, yeah, that's right.
We get that's all we get. We just get a little news report. They're watching the news and they're like, hey, remember this horrible thing that happened? Let's watch.
It's just
That's
like,
that's the news, I guess.
yeah, and then it's just like, and then he became Two-Face, and then there was like the contractor that built his lair that was just like, dude, you believe this place I'm building for this guy?
He wants everything just down the middle. It's so weird. Everything's nice on this side, everything weird and distorted here.
He's got one girl dressed as an angel on one side and another girl dressed as a devil on the other side. This guy's crazy.
It's like you think he's into some really weird stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, job pay good? Oh, pay's great. I think he robs banks. But I don't care.
Man, those Batman Forever and I guess Batman and Robin, those are really good kid-friendly Batman movies.
I guess.
They're very colorful and there's a lot of interesting sets and stuff.
I would definitely let a kid watch Batman Forever before I'd let him watch most of the other ones.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't let a kid watch Batman Returns.
No! Cute penguin biting that guy in the nose.
Or eating a raw fish, because it's just gross and I hate it.
Oh my god. We watched that movie as children.
I don't think I saw that movie as a child.
I did.
Yeah.
I had the toys. I had the Happy Meal toys.
I'm trying to think, like, I'm sure I saw Batman 1989 as a kid.
Oh, so yeah, I saw that one too.
And I did probably see Batman Returns. I must have, but I just don't remember, like, when I saw it as a kid. I must have been, like, older when I saw it. Because I remember seeing Batman Forever, and then I even remember going to the theater for Batman and Robin, so...
I remember going to the theater for both Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I must have.
And I may have even been to the theater for Batman Returns.
I know I definitely
Which is
was at
really
the
questionable judgment on my parents' part.
Yeah.
But then again, they also let me watch Terminator 2 at a young age.
Terminator 2 is a kid-friendly movie.
Yeah, so kid-friendly.
It's like RoboCop.
Yeah.
They used to play it on TV all the time. It was edited enough.
Yeah, well, the version of Terminator 2 I saw wasn't the edited version.
Yeah.
It was we rented it from Blockbuster or something.
Oh, man.
So when he rips that flesh off his hand, that shit traumatized me as a child.
You're like, oh, that's what people are made out of?
No, it was just gross and creepy.
Yeah.
And I think watching those movies also instilled a fear and hatred of computers.
Oh, no.
Yes, I don't trust them.
Well, too bad, because the world is nothing but computers now.
I know, they're going to kill us all. And James Cameron tried to warn us.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. There's a lot of other stuff that'll probably kill us first, though.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, seagulls. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Not to mention shark attacks.
Oh my god. So many sharks. So little time.
And I don't know what else. I don't know what other threats there are. Oh, yeah, Jersey Devils, because we're in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. There's at least 25 or 30 per season, right?
Yeah. I mean, my mom had to beat one off while she was taking groceries out of her car. Like, she called me on the phone and was just like, there was Jersey Devil out again. And I'm like, man, they're everywhere now. Man, stupid global warming. Just bringing out Jersey Devils all over the place. You know, California's got fires. New Jersey's got devils everywhere.
Just gotta remember to lay out the traps.
Yeah.
And, put them in the penalty box.
So I don't know if you know this, but in Texas, chupacabra.
Oh.
Everywhere.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Montana, overrun with Bigfoots.
So many Bigfoots.
Man, so many mythical creatures, but not the mythical creatures you want.
No.
Like dragons. Have you ever seen a real dragon? They're like this big. What a joke.
I guess you never ran into the ones from Komodo.
Ah. Man, what are we talking about?
Not
oh
the
yeah,
law.
Batman. It's a movie, guys. We watched it. It happened.
That we did. But yeah, I mean, look, The Long Halloween, still my favorite Batman comic. I look forward to being able to watch these two in simultaneously. Definitely look forward to watching the fully edited version, possibly with more stuff added.
Yeah, I when they're back to back, because they're both pretty short, you know.
Yeah, these movies only clock in a little over 70 minutes usually.
Yeah.
77, something like that.
When they do the edit, when they're together, it's gonna be like, oh, this is real cool.
It's a real movie now.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I felt watching The Dark Knight Returns when they did that. I was like, oh, it's like a real movie.
Yeah. So, yeah, good. And a little post-credit thing, I guess, for fun, or...
Maybe. Clearly, we're in a new universe, and we have a Green Arrow. That's different.
Yeah.
I mean, to crack the joke about, like, oh, no, it's the Arrowverse. Run, Batman.
Yeah, it's Green Arrow and Flash. I don't know. Wait, I guess they announced what's next.
Well, the next movie is Injustice, which obviously is its own thing.
Yeah, and we mentioned it on the last podcast because I was like, hey, that Injustice movie actually looks pretty cool. And I guess, do you know anything else after that? Or they're
Nope.
just
I think we'll find out maybe at DC Fandom in like
Okay.
October or whatever that is.
at the Fandom?
In the dome.
Sounds like a wrestling match. Could you imagine if they just had like DC heroes, like, or just like people dressed as DC heroes wrestling, and it's just like, I'll see you at the Fandom.
Cosplay wrestling. It's the most embarrassing form of wrestling.
Yep. Man, I've seen it quite a bit though in my life.
I saw it once. I was so embarrassed. I just had to walk away.
Our friend loved it. He loved it a lot.
Glad I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, he was really into it.
It actually made me hate wrestling slightly more than I already did at the time.
I mean, what's so bad about wrestling? I mean, like, yes, there is one company that has pretty much monopolized the industry and has made it PG and, I guess, flanderized it in many ways. Is that a right word to say for it?
I don't know if it's the right for wrestling. I don't know. But, I mean, you got that new company that's also kind of bad.
Is it? I've never watched it. It's not available to any platform I have access to.
Well, they have stuff on YouTube that you can watch, but from what I understand, the YouTube stuff is the worst stuff.
Oh, that's disappointing.
It's like, we got a couple guys that are good, but everyone else is like really bad indie wrestlers that really shouldn't be on television.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Or Chris Jericho, gold standard.
Yeah. You didn't see that embarrassing stunt he was involved in, though.
Oh, no.
He did like a fall off like a cage or something into like a steel platform.
Okay.
It was made of cardboard boxes. At least that's what it looked like. It was clearly a crash pad, and the steel coverings were freaking cardboard. It was embarrassing looking.
Maybe he's just so strong that, like,
No.
it just looked like it was cardboard, but
Look,
it was just that strong.
Look, I like Chris Jericho, and that's not his fault. He didn't make that.
Okay.
But, man, prop departments are a thing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Batman: The Long Halloween. It's good. Go watch it. Enjoy it. And
You gonna give me my damn Batman figure back?
only if you give me my Megatron figure back. All right. All right. Arms looks good. Jets pretty good. Yep. It looks pretty good. Let's try to train. Oh god. Oh god. Fucking serious, Bill? You're dead. You're fucking dead.